Hello everyone, hope all are doing good. So today I am back with a new lesson. Before that I will show you two glasses of water. So you can see two glasses of water, isn't it children? So you can see that in one glass it is pure water and in other glass it is impure water. Impure water means what? Yes, dirty water. So in one glass it is pure water and in another glass it is impure water. So which glass of water do you choose children? Yes, of course this glass of water, isn't it? So why are you choosing this water? Because it is pure and it is safe for drinking, isn't it? And will you choose this dirty water? No, we will not choose this dirty water for drinking because it is unfit for drinking or this water is polluted. So today we are going to study about water pollution. So today we are going to study about water pollution and its conservation. So water pollution. So water pollution and its conservation. So what is water pollution? So water pollution is the contamination of water bodies usually as a result of human activities. So water pollution is the contamination. What do you mean by contamination? Contamination means to make impure. So water pollution is the contamination of water bodies. So what are the water bodies? Yes, river, lakes, ponds. These type of sources of water are called water bodies. So water pollution is the contamination of water bodies usually as a result of human activities, and these water bodies include lakes, rivers, ponds, etc. So there are many causes for water pollution and some of them are, the first one is dumping garbage into water. So when we are dumping garbages into water, it causes water pollution. It causes water pollution. And the second one is that washing clothes, utensils and bathing animals in water. So when we are washing clothes from the water or when you are cleaning the utensils from the water, it also causes pollution of water. And when you are taking the animals bath in the water also, it causes water pollution. And the third one is that untreated waste from factories and sewage from residential areas. So you know that from the factories they will emit many waste materials. So these waste material also causes water pollution. And the sewages from the residential area. So the sewages or the waste materials from the residential area also causes water pollution. So these are some of the reasons or causes for water pollution. And the first one is dumping garbage into water. So when we are dumping garbage into water, it causes water pollution. The second one is that washing clothes. When you are washing clothes, when you are cleaning the utensils, when you are taking animal bath in the water, it also causes water pollution. And the third one is that untreated waste from the factories. So the factories, they will eliminate waste material. These also cause water pollution. And the sewages from the residential areas. The sewages from the waste materials from the residential area also causes water pollution. Next we will study about the diseases caused by polluted water. So what are the diseases that is caused due to water pollution? And the first one is the cholera. So cholera. The second one is the typhoid. And the third one is the diarrhea. So these are the diseases that is caused due to polluted water. The first one is the cholera, the second one is the typhoid and the third one is the diarrhea. So first we will study about cholera. So already I told you, when you are drinking impure water or polluted water, these are some of the diseases. The first one is the cholera and the main symptoms of cholera are vomiting and diarrhea. So vomiting and diarrhea. Diarrhea means loss of water from our body. So these are the symptoms of cholera, that is vomiting and severe diarrhea, and if it is not treated properly it may lead to death. So if you are not treating cholera properly, it may lead to death. So this is the first waterborne disease known as cholera. So the second waterborne disease is typhoid, and the symptoms of typhoid are high fever, vomiting and diarrhea. So high fever, vomiting and diarrhea are the symptoms of typhoid. So high fever will be there, vomiting will be there, diarrhea. Already I told you diarrhea means loss of water from our body. So that is these are the symptoms of typhoid. So the second waterborne disease is typhoid. The first one is the cholera, second one is the typhoid, and what is the third one? Yes, the diarrhea. So diarrhea is also a waterborne diseases, and the symptoms of diarrhea are fever, loss of water from the body, and the motion will be loose. You know about loose motion. So loose motion will be there, and body pain will also be there. So these are the symptoms of diarrhea. Fever will be there, and loss of water from our body will be there, then loose motion will be there, then body pain, the whole body will be like paining. So these are the symptoms of diarrhea. So drinking polluted water can cause diseases like cholera, typhoid and diarrhea. So in cases of vomiting and diarrhea, the body loses water content and the patient becomes tired, and this condition is called dehydration. This condition is called dehydration. So in the case of vomiting and diarrhea, the human body loses water content from our body, isn't it? So when you are continuously vomiting, continuously lose motion means what happens? Yes, water content from the body is losing. So and this condition is known as dehydration. So in the case of vomiting and diarrhea, the body loses the water content and the patient becomes tired, and this condition is known as dehydration. Dehydration. So to avoid dehydration, the patient has to be provided with water or restored with water, and this condition is known as rehydration, and this condition is called rehydration. Rehydration means restoring water. We are giving the patient water, and that condition is known as rehydration. So two terms, dehydration and rehydration. So dehydration means loss of water from our body. So water is losing from our body. That is known as dehydration. And rehydration means restoring water into the body. So we are giving water to the patient, and that condition is known as rehydration. Rehydration means restoring water into the body. So these are the two terms, dehydration and rehydration. So dehydration means loss of water from our body. Rehydration means restoring water into the body. And the best example for rehydration is ORS. So everyone might have heard about ORS. ORS means oral rehydration solution. So ORS packets are available in hospitals and in medical stores. So this is the best method to rehydrate our body, and this ORS can be prepared from our home also. So how means we have to take 1 liter of water. So first we have to take 1 liter of water. Then you have to add 6 teaspoons of sugar. So you have to take 6 teaspoons of sugar and add this into this water, and you have to take half teaspoon of salt. So you have to take half teaspoon of salt, add this to the water, and you have to mix it well. And so this ORS is ready from our home itself. So what you have to do is you have to take 1 liter of water, take 6 teaspoons of sugar and half teaspoon of salt, mix it well, and ORS solution is ready. So this is how we make ORS from our home. So next we will study how we can prevent this water pollution. So prevention of water pollution. The first one is that educate people to stop dumping garbages, washing clothes and bathing animals in rivers, lakes, etc. So we have to educate the people not to put the garbages into the water bodies, and you have to tell them not to wash clothes from the water bodies and not to take animals bathing in the water bodies. So we have to educate people. So that is the one of the first step, that is educate people to stop dumping garbages. So we should make them aware not to dump garbages in the water bodies. Second one is that washing clothes. We should tell them not to wash clothes from the rivers or ponds or lakes. And bathing animals, we should make them aware not to take these animals to the water bodies for bathing purposes. And second step is that waste from the factories and residential areas should be treated and made free from harmful substances. So the waste materials from the factories, you know that factories, they will eliminate waste materials. We have to treat them. We have to treat them and made free from harmful substances. Using chemicals, we can treat that wastewater and make free from harmful substances. So from the factories and from the residential area, these harmful substances, we have to treat them with chemicals and made free from harmful substances. And the third one is that you might have heard about the chemicals known as chlorine. So this chemical chlorine is added to the drinking water to make it purified and free from germs. So chlorine is a chemical, so we will add this to the drinking water to get it purified and to get it free from germs. So this is also one of the method to prevent water pollution. So by this we are winding up our lesson. Before that, we will just go for a quick recap. So first we have studied about the water pollution. What is water pollution? So water pollution is the contamination of water bodies, usually as a result of human activities. So water bodies means rivers, lakes, ocean, these type of sources of water are called water bodies. Then we have studied about the causes of water pollution, then dumping of garbages into water, washing clothes, cleaning utensils, then bathing animals in the water causes water pollution, then untreated water from the factories, from the residential area also causes water pollution. Then we have studied about the diseases that is caused by water pollution. So by drinking polluted water can cause diseases like cholera, typhoid and diarrhea. So then to prevent them, two terms we have learned: dehydration and rehydration. So dehydration means loss of water from our body. Rehydration means restoring water into the body. So a best method to rehydrate our body is ORS solution, oral rehydration solution. So we can prepare this ORS from our home also. For that you have to take 1 liter of water, 6 teaspoon of sugar and half teaspoon of salt. We have to mix them. So homemade ORS is ready. Then we have studied how to preventive measures for water pollution. The first we have learned about educate people not to dump the garbages into the water, not to wash clothes, not to clean utensils, and not to take animals into the water for bathing purposes. Then we have studied that to treat the waste materials from the factories and residential areas. So we have to treat these wastewater and make it harmful free. Then we have studied that a chemical known as chlorine. When we are adding this chlorine to the pure drinking water, the water becomes purified and it is free from germs. So these are some of the preventive measures for water pollution. So that's all. See you next class. Thank you, children.